Hi friends, this is Leslie from Mermaid Cove Studio, and I am on right now to do a share with you. Excuse me. I am a guest designer for Decorate Your Life, and this was, Once Upon a Christmas, this was the paper that I selected. And I did a unboxing or a preview for it, so you can just see how gorgeous it is. It is so beautiful. The paper is 8 1/4 by 8 1/4. It's 65-pound weight cardstock. There are 14 designs here. It is a single-sided paper, which I love. I do. I have a really hard time cutting into double-sided paper. I do it, but I struggle with it because both sides, you've got an A side and a B side, and one side is more usable than the other sometimes. And sometimes the paper is gorgeous on both sides. Like, I can't cut into this, but this is single-sided, and I really like that. There are 28 sheets. So there are two of each pieces, two of each of the designs. So I'm just getting started with my projects with this collection and just kind of feeling out what it is I want to do. So first thing I did was I made a card, and for me, sometimes I'm not a card maker, at least I say I'm not, but I'm making more and more cards, and I'm finding it fairly easy to start there when sometimes working with a new paper collection. I think this paper collection really lends itself to scrapbooking if you scrapbook. I don't scrapbook. I mostly make mini albums, folios, cards, home decor. So you'll see some of those things, journals, planners, that type of thing. But I started with a card. I did get my ink out. Let me see, what did I use today? I used Vintage Photo. Yes, Vintage Photo is the one that I used on the edge. Now, I have all these things. I don't always use them. It's a different look than what I normally do, but I like the look. I really do. So I'm doing more and more of that in not all of my work, but in some of my work. And this was perfect for it. I fussy cut out this adorable snowman. He's adorable. And I did some inking around the edges, and I popped him up. I cut out this part of the house. I actually cut out the other part of the house, and that is somewhere else, or will be used somewhere else. But I fussy cut this part of the house out so that I could do this. I love the snowman. It's very sweet. I then backed it with another piece. This was just the blue with the snowflakes on it, and it's stunning, and it was a perfect background. I will add a little bit more to the card, and I'll share it again. But right now, what I really wanted to do was just kind of get the ball rolling and get it started. I did put the card on this really pretty paper that I had out on my desk. It's a little rough around the edges, but I like that because I will probably ink a little bit down around that as well. So, and I'll add maybe some gemmies, something sparkly here with the snowflakes. I love that. But this was where I started with it. I inked around here, around the house, and I have learned the patience of fussy cutting, and so this was a good place to start. And he is up on some pop darts. He's wonderful, and that is a beautiful house. I love it. So this was my first project, and we're just getting started. And my original thought process when I first saw the paper was this right here. I love making traveler's notebooks, journals, mini albums, folios. I make a Christmas planner every year, and I loved this piece of paper, and it's pink, and it's got some gold in it, and this snowman is just crazy gorgeous. I love him. So I made a traveler's style notebook so that I can add to this I've just got I've got just some clips up on here that will go on the inside. But this is just a just getting started planner, and I can add more pages to it. I can take anything else and I'll be able to reuse it. Maybe I never have to make another planner. I've already got a cover for one. It doesn't say, I'm a weekly planner. It doesn't say I'm just yes, it's a Christmas planner. I will always put that in the Christmas planner, but I mean, it's really pretty. I did a base from a 12 by 12, and I want to say, I'm going to measure this, so ignore everything else you see in the background, my working area. The cover is 5.5 wide. I'm going to move this a little bit because I'm measuring off my desk, by 8 with a 1-inch spine. I did all the work. I did a base I used a 12 by 12 and I cut it down to the size I wanted it. And then I took this stunning paper and I cut it. Didn't have to cut off much, just enough so I can get my cover. And then I filled in for the spine. And then this is a different piece of paper from the same collection. It was just the pink you can just see the background on there. Very pretty, very pretty. So I went ahead, layered that up. Now, I laminated it, and I used the 5mm laminator, the thermal paper. It's really thick. It's going to last a lifetime. I feel like it's going to last a lifetime. It's very sturdy. I put my eyelets in. I used my crocodile to put my eyelets in. This one here, I just use an awl and punch those holes because my big bite is not functioning properly. And I did those. So simple. We've got 2 signatures going on in here. 2 signatures. And there is plenty of room to add to this. I used my envelope punch board. This has been out, and I used this one to go ahead and make an envelope. I made a couple envelopes. Oh, no. This is supposed to, let's glue this. I added, it's like a crocheted lace ribbon. I'm going to have to try a different type of glue with that. I know that. Okay, so I love this Santa. Isn't he gorgeous? And this sweet little girl. And look at that little mouse. I believe that's a little mouse. Very cute with the Christmas tree. So I made an envelope out of it, so we can stick whatever we want. I saved the receipts for, when you Christmas shop. I've got a weekly planner in here. I deal really well with a weekly planner. I kind of highlight my week. This also reminds me, we've got a to-do list. We've got whatever our goals are. And I printed this from Etsy. I bought it on Etsy. And I will have to look and see who it was. But it was very specific for this type of tea. And I don't use Canva very well. I'm learning how to use it. And I know people can make these. I'm not that far. I would rather spend my time crafting than trying to figure this out. But in my mind, I have the perfect parts, what I would like to see in like a Christmas planner. And I'll get there someday. I'll get there. I work on it daily, try to use it. And when I get frustrated, I walk away from it so that I'm not spending my time. With the weekly planner comes the daily planner. So now here's where we break it down for the day. So if I've decided this week I'm going to, drop 4 videos, I'm writing that down. And then I've got my to-do list, and then I break it down by the day. Now, I'm not obsessed with doing this. I'm not a big planner girl. I usually get started and then I bail on the whole situation. Just trying to do better. But Christmas, I always make a planner. And it's funny because I don't always use the planner because we have our phones and It's a smartphone and you can do everything on there. And so normally the last couple of years, I've been doing it in there, but I always make a planner. Maybe someday I'll bring them all out and show everybody. They are different types. I've got the very first one that I made maybe 15 years ago that I actually used, and it was very rough. It was very rough. I used ribbon instead of binding rings. I could have done it, but I didn't know. I was just learning how to do that. So, but I've held on to it. And that one I inked everything. And most likely it's because I had taken a class that taught me about those things. So on my daily planner, I break it down to what's going to get done today. I am reasonable about what I do. I am not someone who, I can put down 99 things for the day, 100 things for the day. If I have accomplished at least the top 3, I feel very accomplished because I want to do those top 3 things really, really well. I don't want to do 99 things and do them half-baked. You got to bake the whole cake. So I start at the top of my list. And whatever doesn't get done, I move to the next day. I just cross off and continue to move them through. This daily planner has a reminder because certain things, I take care of my grandson. He's a little guy. He's 8 months old. I take care of him on Mondays and sometimes Tuesdays. And the biggest thing that I fail to do is this right here. Drink water. This is a reminder for me. Sometimes, my husband's sweet. He'll make breakfast. And he makes breakfast every day that he's home. But he does work out of town quite a bit. We have to have gratitude. And I like to write that down. What am I grateful for today? And that's always been very, very important to me. We have to have gratitude. And also giving back. Got to give back somewhere, right? My daily goals. And then what are my priorities? Sometimes I don't make the priority list. And I have to remember that I'm important too. And that I need to take care of myself. Otherwise, I'm useless to everyone. So, am I good at it? Absolutely not. Am I trying as best as I can? And sometimes that is just enough for the day. And then here at the end of the page, there's notes. And sometimes I will just write my thoughts for the day. How did it go? If I had any additional burdens or feelings about the day. But with gratitude in your day, those things kind of, whatever obstacles you can overcome is usually what ends up here. A good day, I had a rough day. I didn't get my nap in, I'm older. I'm a grandma. I need a nap. I have got pages in here that are just for taking notes. So I added that. This collection, what I printed up, it was perfect for this. And I like how it planned out. So in the first signature is my weekly and my daily planner, and it goes all the way through. My center is like additional notes, anything that I need to do to take for myself, or reminders. I also take care of my mom, and if they have appointments, her husband, whatever I have to do, we get it done. So this whole thing, they go on this calendar. And then this is the back page of my envelope. Let me see why that's sliding. So the back page of my envelope, I cut and I glued the envelope onto this page. I cut it a little bit. Maybe I didn't cut this one. I don't think I cut this one. I folded it in a way in which we now have a pocket here. And here is the other part of the house. I wanted to gussy this up a little bit. We've got a little bit of this lace on here, this crocheted lace. I love crocheted lace. I actually know how to do that. I just don't do it. I don't make enough time for certain things, which is a shame because sometimes that's a lost art. But we can tuck something here, and we can also, I'm going to go gently, use this as a pocket, okay? Obviously not for this card, but that's just to show you that there's going to be some things there. The envelope part I was going to use for receipts. This is another way to, you know, I'm a big sticky note person. I write things on it. I can put that in on here or inside of this pocket. This is the second part of my signature. Again, it's another envelope. I've got my crochet lace on it. This one's a little more, I love this timepiece. It is so beautiful. I feel like my husband has a stopwatch that looks like this, like a pocket watch actually, that looks like that. And we had a lovely trip and we bought that for him. But here's my crocheted lace. That's a nice pocket for whatever we need to put in there. Receipts, pictures. I mean, you can add more blank paper and also use this as a December daily. But I did create a December daily. If you look back in my videos, you'll see there is one already created. That was beautiful. And I've started to gather the pictures and with my sticky notes, what's going to go in there. And we'll see that in January. I'll do a flip through on that. But here I've got pages where I can do notes. And here's my Christmas gift planner. My family is rather large, but I had 6 children, and my children have children, so we're up to 5 grandchildren now. And mostly we only shop for the grandchildren. For our grown kids, you know, we get like date night, and this is funny, and we give date night in pretense of we get the grandkids. We love spending time with everybody, but oh my gosh, the grandkids we love it. We love it. We love raising our kids, and we love in being a part of our grandchildren's life. So here we go, gift planning. So in here, we've started the Christmas shopping process. I didn't want to jot all those things in this planner because nobody needs to see what we're buying for our grandchildren, especially if our kids or anybody looks. So we'll jot those things down, make it fair for everybody, and just what is it that they have on their list. And their parents have already, my oldest granddaughter already sent the list for her and her 2 little brothers, and mommy and daddy sent for the baby. And then my other granddaughter, I got to speak to her mommy, and she told me what she wanted. So I'm going to jot all of those things down in here, and I'll add pictures too, because I think that will make that process extra. I plan a day for my children and my grandchildren. It's a crafty day. We bake. I don't bake cookies as often anymore. This year I got kits because I'm doing it so late. But it's mostly about just a gathering and doing some type of crafty project with my grandkids and my kids. Usually some type of ornament. And I can put all of that in here. So we've got the gift section and all of this part right here for writing notes and what projects I'm going to do with my grandchildren. There are a couple other pages from this downloadable, this printable from Etsy. I haven't decided which other ones I wanted yet. And so I will go back and print up the rest of that. But this, again, we started with a card. I knew this is what I was going to do with this. Here's the back page. And so this one, we've got there, and then you can flip open. And this is where I glued the envelope onto that page. And I can add whatever I need to in here, or journal in there, or write notes and additional anything's in there. So this is, and it's my 2 signatures. I love that my elastic matched the bows on this tree. It's so pretty. And then I've got these binder clips for putting anything in. So I'll show this again, but I just wanted to get on and just kind of to see what's going on, because the month of December is moving fast, and I feel like I'm not moving fast enough. And I'm so grateful and appreciative of being allowed to be a guest designer for Sandy and my sweet friend Jenny, who asks me, and absolutely adorable. Love them. And also the design team is so wonderful. So I'm going to put the links down below. Sandy has, you can go online on her decorateyourlife.com. You can do, so Sandy lovingly sent me the collection in person, in paper. I like to also get the digitals, the printables from her shop, because then I can take and manipulate these, make them larger, make them smaller, whatever I want to do with it, separate it out. You can do a little bit more with it when you have not just, print and use them like that, but if you know a little bit more about using the printables, you can do a lot more with it. And I appreciate the fact that they have the printables available, and that I can drop them into another program and work with them a little bit. I haven't tried to do this on my Cricut to cut anything out yet, because there are some things that you can cut out. I haven't tried that yet, but I will. I'm getting there. I'm older, and technology, excuse me, has snuck by me a little bit, but I'm learning and I enjoy that process. So if you get the chance, really go on the website, which I'll link below, and go take a look at all of the gorgeous paper. She comes out with, oh my gosh, so many beautiful collections. And I've had the privilege a few different times to be a guest designer and work with the paper. So go check it out. Go get yourself some paper and show us what you're creating. I know there's a hashtag for it. If I can see what it is, then there's also a Facebook group that you can be in. And there's, on occasion, they have some swaps and some challenges. Go in there and check it out. It's a lovely group of people, and they're sweet and they're kind. Some of the people are in some of my other groups that I'm in, and just really, really kind people. So, those are important. I'm grateful for the opportunity. Thank you, Sandy. Thank you, Jenny. You will see the finished products. I just wanted you to know that I am working on the projects, and this is where I start. This is where I went. And I've got a few other fantastical ideas. In my mind, they are. But if you get the opportunity, please go. Comment in kindness, like, share, comment, and join us. And go buy yourself some paper. Go print some paper or buy yourself a paper pad. It's definitely wonderful, wonderful paper to work with. All right, friends, thank you so much. We'll see you soon. Bye.